To see more scientific videos and memes, follow and subscribe Science Sector pages and channels in the Facebook and the YouTube. How is a car engine manufactured? I worked in an engine assembly plant for 12 years and the engines were traditionally handmade and it was a really old setup. Foundry, we had a foundry that cast pretty much every main component that we used. Machine shop, this is where all components left the foundry and were machined before heading to the assembly hall. Sub-assemblies, there were sub-assembly stations on each engine line in the assembly hall and this is where water pumps, pistons, crankshafts, crankcases, cylinder heads etc. were assembled. On the piston stage they fitted rings to pistons and pistons to con rods, and on the cylinder head stage they fit the valve stem seals, valves, springs and carriers. Everything assembled by hand. Pipe shop, this is where high-pressure pipes and leak-offs were assembled for each and every engine range. Build line, this is where engines were put together. It always started with the crankshaft being fitted into the sub-assembled crankcase. The camshaft would be fitted along with the oil pump, idler gears and oil strainer. Next would be the fitting of the pistons to the engine and the conrods to the crankshaft. An operator would then fit the fuel pumps and set the engine timing. The next stage would see the flywheel housing and the flywheel mounted, and then one of the most important things, the cylinder head. Once the gasket was in place, the head would be carefully lowered into position and torqued down. The hydraulic tappets and push rods would be fitted. Once these were fitted, the assembly of the rockers could commence before covering it over with the rocker cover. Fuel injectors and high-pressure pipes would then be fitted. Ancillaries such as oil filters, turbochargers, leak-off pipes and manifolds would then be assembled to the engine. At the end of line stage, lifting eyes would be fitted to the engine and it would be filled up with the necessary amount of oil before being pushed along the line to the test bed. Test bed, if an engine passed test, it would head out to the spray booths and, once dried, it would have the alternator, starter motor, pulleys, fans and other special fittings added. If it failed, it would head out to the repair bays before being retested. That was essentially it. It was an old plant with antiquated machines but at one point, we were knocking out 1,500 engines a week.